Memorial Day weekend. I thought we would go ahead and do our May bonus block this weekend, and I think we're going to make this beautiful log cabin. Log cabin block looks easy, and it's really one of the most challenging blocks there is. I made mine red, white, and blue in honor of Memorial Day. You can make yours whatever color you want. Here's what you're going to need. Your iron and your pressing surface, your rotary cutter and your mat, and your 12.5-inch ruler. You can choose jelly roll strips if you have a jelly roll that you really want to use. I have a couple different strips here. Or you can cut your pieces from small pieces of yardage. It's up to you. You're going to also need your sewing machine set to 1/4 inch. And I think we're ready to get started.
Okay, we're going to begin with a 2-inch square center block. I chose yellow for mine. You can choose whatever color you'd like for yours. Two inches by 2 1/4 inch. We're going to attach those right sides together and sew the 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, so 2 1/4 by 3 3/4, and we're going to attach this below this one, right sides together with a 1/4 inch seam allowance.
Okay, here are the pieces I just attached. I'm going to set the seam, and I'm going to open the seam gently and press. I'm going to measure my block again to see if I need to square it up any. It should measure 3 3/4, and it does. Looks like I might need to trim it just the tiniest bit on this side. A fraction of an inch there. Okay, the next piece that we are going to be attaching is this red strip. Alright, so we need to cut that red strip the width of our block, which is 3 3/4 times 2 1/4, 2.25, 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. Feel free to write the measurements down if you need to. 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. Okay, and we will be attaching this to the left side of the yellow square. Okay, after we have attached the red, this piece now measures 5.5 by 3 3/4. Trim that up if you need to. The next piece we're going to attach is a blue strip. We will cut it 5.5 by 2 1/4. We will attach it above the red and yellow, stitching it right sides together with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. We end up with a block that is 5.5 inches square. I'm going to trim off any excess. And we're ready to add our next piece, which will be a light colored piece along this edge. Our unit now measures 5.5 by 7 1/4. Just a bit of trimming here. Okay, the next piece we need to add is another white strip along this side, and we need to cut it 2 1/4 by 7 1/4. Okay, this will go down this side. I'm going to stitch that with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, right sides together. Okay, our unit now measures 7 1/4 inches square. Trim off the little bit we need to trim off here. And we're ready to add our next piece, which will actually be a red strip that's going to measure 7 1/4 by 2 1/4. Okay, so this is 7 1/4 by 2 1/4. And we will attach it along the red side of our block. And then the next piece we attach will be a blue strip. Okay, I've attached the red strip. We need to measure again. Our block is going to measure 7 1/4 by 9 inches. Looks like I need to do just the tiniest bit of trimming here on the end of the red piece. Alright, our next strip will be the blue strip that will measure 9 inches by 2 1/4. A blue strip 9 inches by 2 1/4. Okay, so here is this 2 1/4 by 9 inch piece attached. I'm going to press it. I'm going to gently fold it back. Give it a little finger press and press the seam in place. I'm pressing to the dark side as much as I can. I might not be able to on every seam, but on most of them, if you look on the back, I'm trying to press away from the center. Okay, let's remeasure our block. It should be 9 inches square. It is 9 inches square. Got a little spot here where I probably did not press accurately. Okay, so I have a 9 inch square block. The next piece I need to add is a 9 inch by 2 1/4 inch light strip here along the bottom. Alright, this will attach here. I'm going to take that and sew it at the sewing machine. Okay, so here's our block as we have it now. We need to attach another light strip along this edge. We need to attach another red strip and another blue strip. We need to measure this. We know it should be 9 inch by 10 3/4. It's pretty close. I need to trim just the tiniest bit. And I'm going to try to show you, hopefully we can get a close-up here, of what I'm having to trim. Can you see this little bitty spidge of blue here? That's what I'm having to trim off. It's less than a 1/16 of an inch, but if I have enough of those mistakes, it will mess up my entire block, so I'm going to trim it. as you can see, it was a very, very small piece. Alright, the next thing I need to attach is my other white piece, my other red piece, and my last blue piece, in that order. Okay, so we're going to do the next white. We know it needs to be 2.25 or 2 1/4 inches wide, and it needs to be 10 3/4 inches long. Okay, all of our white pieces are finished. We need to add one more red strip and one more blue strip. Our red strip needs to measure 10 3/4 times 2 1/4. So we want to cut this 10 3/4 times 2 1/4. Okay, 10 3/4 by 2 1/4. Okay, we're going to attach this strip to the red edge, and then we're going to cut a blue strip 12 1/2 by 2 1/4 to finish our block. Okay, here's our red strip attached. I'm going to set the seam. I'm going to press it open. Sorry, not open, but to the dark side. Press the piecing open. Alright, and I need to attach my last piece. Let's square this up. It should be 10 3/4 by 12 1/2, and it is exactly a little bit right there. Trim off. Okay, so my blue piece needs to be 2 1/4 times 12 1/2. And I'm going to attach this along this side, and we will measure our block one last time, and it should be 12 1/2 inches square. Here is my last piece. I'm going to set the seam. I am going to gently press this up. Press it in place. And we are going to do one final measurement of our block. It should measure 12.5 inches square. And it does measure 12.5 inches square. I've got just the tiniest little bit right here in this corner that I need to remove. You can see how small this piece was that I had to remove. Other than that, it's square. It's the correct measurement, and it is a lovely Memorial Day festive red, white, and blue box. Now, what could you do with these blocks? You could easily take 3, I hope you can see all 3 of them here, and create a table runner with 3 blocks for your picnic table for your Memorial Day picnic. Okay, that's all we've got for today. I hope you have fun making your Memorial Day block and your Memorial Day table runner from 3 log cabin blocks. Until next time, I'm Teresa. Happy quilting.